Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. In today's video I'm going to be teaching us how to cut a puff sleeve. So if this is something that interests you, consider to watch this video to the very end. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video so that others can watch. First off, I have my fabric here and I'll be cutting the two sleeves together. So I folded it into two first, okay, and then I went ahead to fold again, making it into four. So what I'm going to do next is to create now for a curved sleeve. Okay, if you really want it to be very curved, so the first thing you are going to do is to mark. I'm going to be marking 6 inches away first. Now this 6 inches totally depends on how curvy you want it to be, so I'm going to be marking 6.5 inches away from the actual. Okay, you can mark up to 7 inches, so I'm just going to mark 7 inches instead. Let me just mark 7 inches as the curve. Okay, so now that we've marked the curve, okay, so just set the curve aside. Now the actual sleeve length I'm working with is 7 inches. And I'm going to be needing 1.5 inch folding allowance, so I'll need 8.5. Okay, so this is 8.5. Just go ahead and mark it out. So let me just fold this in so that you won't get confused. Okay, so right here is our actual sleeve length. Okay, this is our actual sleeve length. Now for us to get that curve we normally have around here, what you simply do is you divide your bust divided by 12. Whatever you have left, you had 0.5 to it, and then that will be your sleeve curve, that deep part of your sleeve that you are going to be cutting out. Now go ahead and mark half of your armhole measurement, which mine is, the one I'm working with is 10 inches. Then go ahead and slant this. You are going to make a slant. You make a slant downward. Okay, now after making a here and another one here, so just divide it, come up here like this, go ahead and come like this, and then under the third line you go like this, and you have succeeded in creating your sleeve. You go up by ½ inch here, and from here you come down and then curve it down. So after doing that, go ahead and mark your armhole measurement to be sure that you have your exact armhole measurement. So my armhole measurement is 10. Then you are going to be needing stitching allowance of 1.5, so I'm just going to be adding the stitching allowance here. Now the round sleeve around here, you're also going to be marking the round sleeve around here, which is 8, okay, plus 1 inch 1.5 inch allowance, that's 9.5. So I'm going to mark it here. So go ahead now and connect this part together. So if for instance you don't want a curve, you can just curve out your sleeve like this, but because we want a curve, so what I'm going to do now is to come up here. You can see our curve measurements. Go ahead now and start bringing it down. You bring it down for it to connect to this part here. Can you see the way I brought it down? I brought it down now for it to connect back to this place. So now let's cut this out. So I'm going to be folding this in because we are going to be needing a stitching allowance here. So I'm going to out. This is what we have. So what we are going to do now is to go and you are going to gather it together. So by the time you gather it, it's come down back to here and you have a puffy sleeve. Okay, head to fold the lower parts and then I'll stitch the sides. So what is left now, I've also gone ahead to run a stitch. I went ahead to run a loose stitch across this part. So what I'm going to do now is you're going to notch the center so that you know the gathers you have on this side and the one you have on the other side, so that when you want to stitch your sleeve, you are also going to be stitching it at the center. So now I'm going to gather my sleeve now. I have gathered. You see that after gathering the sleeve, you see what it looks like. You can see the curve effect it's have. We're stitching this part to the armhole area. Just measure it and ensure that it is your armhole measurement that you have. If it is smaller than your armhole measurement, just release it. You can just loosen up the gathers a bit so that you can have your armhole measurement. Okay, So this is what it's going to look like. This is the curve.
So guys, I have stitched the sleeve to my top, and you can see how beautiful it is. So this is the essence of adding puff to your sleeve. You can see the puff, you can see how it's standing. So if you find this video helpful, please consider to subscribe if you haven't done that. Like this video, share this video so that others can watch. I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye bye.